guys, welcome back to Here Are Two Cents. It's your girl Cammy,
And Allie.
and today we are doing our first episode of 2024. Woo! Today is
Hey.
January 19th, and today's episode is going to be a combination between our two lists of anime recommendations or animes that we're watching right now for the winter. So the winter season just started, so most of these animes are probably between 3 and 4 anime episodes right now. So right now we're going to talk about one in particular together and then two separate. So to get us kicked off, here comes Ali.
Hey guys. So me and Cammy were both very excited about Solo Leveling. So we both actually ended up watching it. So we're going to talk about Solo Leveling. I'm going to give you the synopsis of Solo Leveling, and then we're going to discuss our thoughts on it. Right now, it has 2 episodes. So we both watched two episodes as of now. But here, if you do not know, is the plot. And I am sorry if I mispronounce these names. Okay, I'm going to try my best. So stick with me here. They say whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But that's not the case for the world's weakest hunter, Sung Jin-Hoo. After being brutally slaughtered by monsters in a high-ranking dungeon, Jin-Hoo came back with the system, a program only he could see, that leveling him up in every way. Now he's inspired to discover the secrets behind his power and the dungeon that spawned them. Dun dun dun. So that's a synopsis there. Cammy, what were your thoughts watching this episode 1 and 2?
So my thoughts on both episodes were that I love the animation style. Those fight sequences are really good. My only thing about him is that I understand that he needs this money, and I guess fighting the dungeons is like the fastest way to get a lot of money. However, if you're not going to reinvest in yourself because you're working, well, spoiler everybody. I don't know if you guys have started watching it already, but I would say pause it here because I'm going to say some things that's in the episode until you watch it, then come in and listen. So I think it was your 2 cents. But if you're going to have to go into these dungeons, you supposedly are the weakest one in the entire world, right? So, or in your city, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Reinvest in yourself. I understand you have to pay for your sister's schooling. Your father disappeared. We don't know where that man is. I assume he's in a dungeon somewhere.
Papa was a rolling stone.
Hey, 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 hey.
Sorry.
Wherever he lays his hat was his home.
Was his home. And when he died. Sorry.
I don't know the rest of the lyrics for that.
Oh, I love his implementation, so let's stick on track.
Yeah, I did too. But then on top of it, he has to pay for his mother's medical bill, his sister's schooling, and he can't reinvest in himself to buy proper weapons. It's crazy. Some got to give. And then on episode 2, I was just like, come on, people, come on, calm down. Let's try to figure out the dungeon gave you its rules. You just had to stay calm and pay attention. And all they had to do was drop that man on the altar. Like, I was just like so mad. I was like, why y'all knew somebody got to go on there. Put him on there. Him or the boss. Like, come on, make it make sense. I was so mad. I was getting so angry.
In this episode, in the first episode, they kind of give you the rundown. There is a ranking system. So S being the superior, like top elite person, and then E, which is the main character's level, is like the weakest. So everyone loves this guy. He's very beloved because everyone says like when he's on a mission, it's an easy mission. So they like him because it's a sign like if he signs up for this, it's easier for us, right? Their problem was they got greedy in the sense of like, they're like, let's go explore this discovered cave. Let's go. And that's where things went like crazy. And that whole game that they had when they went into that unknown room, and it was like giant stone of these like gods, you know, staring down at them, and the eye moved and lasers came out of his eyes. You know the first thing that popped in my head?
Game of Thrones?
I was like, actually the first thing that popped in my head was Harry Potter. Do you remember back in the day on Harry Potter movies with the chess pieces? That's the first thing that popped into my head. I was like, oh, we're playing chess, not checkers. Okay. And then I got a little bit of like Squid Game vibes because I'm like, there's rules that you have to follow and you have to pay attention. And if you don't follow them, you die. And like the weakest player, his strength is his mind at this point. He's turning on his brain and he's like, oh wait, it says praise. It says it was like revere, praise, And I forgot the third rule at the moment, but there's three rules. And he was like, okay, Revere, let me put our heads down and like bow to you. We're respecting you. And then the praise, you have to find a musical statue. So it was really, really cool. Liked it. I would say same thing of like it's more of a mental thing. Like they all freaked out in the end and just ran. I'm very curious of how in the next episode are all those people die? Like did they die or are they still alive? But I would rank this show, if I was going to do Keith, I would rate this show a 9 out of 10. Okay? 9 out of 10. It is good. I can't say 10 out of 10 because I haven't seen everything, but I'm very much invested in the story and am very interested to continue watching. What about you, Kimmy?
I would give it a 9 out of 10 as well because it's not completed. I understand that. I believe this is a manga, right? Or a
Yeah,
webtoon.
it was the webtoons before, Korean webtoons.
Okay. So I will not be watching that. I mean, reading it or viewing it because to me, it's watching. Like if you're looking at it, to me, it's like you're watching it. If it's a webtoon, if it's in my book, in my hand, I'm reading it. But I will definitely not be reading the manga or the comic strip, but I'm gonna wait for all the episodes to come out. I would prefer to watch it. So hopefully it doesn't make me even more angry. But as of right now, watching this, especially that he's coming back with this whole digital system situation, it's really giving me traditional isekai anime where like reincarnated as a slime, or I am reincarnated as a vending machine, or I'm reincarnated as a spider. Like it's giving me all of that situation, and I'm here for it.
What do you expect that's going to happen in the next episode? Because my feeling is that at this altar, because he had faith, or he didn't really have faith, he was just kind of succumbed to his position. He was like, I'm going to die. But maybe he'll switch on and be like, I have faith that I will survive. And maybe he'll get a power, some old cryptic power that kind of like of magic or some kind, or mana, whatever they're going to call it in this universe. I feel like that might happen in the next episode because they're not going to kill him off. It's not Game of Thrones. They're not going to just, and then you're like, wait. So
Or
that's
Akami
my
got
thought,
killed.
anyways. Yeah. Yeah.
Or Akami got killed.
Yeah. Akami got killed. I would be like, oh, I like this person. Okay.
Next episode,
I guess I
murked. Or
don't.
at the end, by the end of that episode, they get murked. It's just like,
Yeah.
wow, you give me character development and then you murder them. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Tell me how much you love
But,
me as the viewer.
but
But for me,
what
I
was,
think what's going to happen is that he's going to come back. Because at the end of that second episode, he was literally saying, I cannot die. I do not want to die. I wish I could change this. I wish I can do something different.
mm,
But he's like, if I have to go this way, I'm glad that everybody else has got out safely. So I assume the
mm,
other humans got out safely. And I assume like during the process of him dying, like at the last screen, he actually gets like the whole thing, like saying like, yo, you have 2 seconds before your heart stops beating. Do you want to continue or you want to hit no? Continue and then you move on. So I'm assuming he gets revived. I assume the statue or the system talks to him and he gets some type of level up, power up situation where he can probably like continue to beat monsters in the dungeons. And then he can level up a different attribute for himself, like maybe agility, speed, strength. Maybe he gets some magic. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited.
we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited too. So I hope we get to see everything. But let's go on to your first one. What do you have for the first show that you watched? What's the name of this show?
Okay. So for my isekai loving fans, well, not my fans. I mean, like fans of isekai. I have Fluffy Paradise. Now, if you love animals, if you love, as of right now, a wholesome, peaceful isekai kind of reincarnation, this is right up your alley. I definitely suggest it, as I've been waiting for it to come out a long time. Ever since they announced that they were going to give it an anime series, I was ready for it to happen. So it is the synopsis for this. It's right now they have 3 episodes subbed as of right now. So our character, her name is Keats Keatsy. Midori, she's 27 years old. She pretty much did what all of us fear to do for ourselves in this world, work ourselves to death. She went home. She collapsed in her house. As soon as she locked the door, she, KO, ultimate finish. So once she died, she was fine because she was like, I can't believe this is my life. I worked myself to death. I am 27 years old. This can't be real. Stay back in my body, please. It's a mess anyways. It's like dirty because all she does is work. We keep doing overtime and all that shenanigans. So as her spirit is about to like ascend and gets judged, before it gets to that point, their God in their universe steps in and asks her a question, like saying, like, look, do you want to try again? Do you want another chance at life? And he was like, what is it that you want? So she was apprehensive at first and she was like, what? And he was like, he just nods. And she was like, if anything, he was like, I can reborn you into another world. He gives her like a quick description of things that are happening in this world and how people react and behave. And then she just turns around and she's like, okay, all I want to do is pet fluffy animals. As being in this world, I was never allowed to pet my parents' cat. I guess the cat always just like scratched her up every time she tried to pet him. She loves animals and she was never allowed to pet animals. She could never pet them because it's either they weren't hers or they didn't like to be pet by her. She was hated by animals and all she wanted to do was find comfort in petting these animals, if I remember correctly from episode 1. So he reborns her into a rich family. She is the second daughter, third child in this family, and she's super uber cute. She's like, at the end of the episode 3, she's turning 4. You watch her grow up a little bit. She's a toddler and her parents have magic. Her siblings have magic. Everybody's loving and nice and kind. She's living a happy-go-lucky lifestyle. And she meets all these little animals and they love her and she's having a great old time. So for me, it's watching myself yeah, pretty much. For me, it's watching myself in an anime to like pet all the animals and creatures of the world and they all love her. And as you progress in the series, you see that not only do like regular creatures love her, but mystical creatures as well. And I feel like as of right now, even though it's 3 episodes, it's kind of predictable and I love in the way that it's going. However, I feel like there's going to be some dark undertone. Like somewhere along the lines, maybe her ability gets stolen or if she has to use her ability to stop a war or somebody accuse her of doing something that she didn't do because right now it has befriended a fire dragon and this dragon is very powerful. So right now everybody's worried that she might use the dragon's power to, take over the world or threaten the kingdom or whatever, but she's not about that. And all the guys in the anime is super cute, especially the prince. And I love this dragon, Lars. I mean, not dragon, sorry, tiger, white tiger, Lars. He's so cute and fluff.
I always wanted a white tiger. Like, growing up,
Raja.
I wanted a white tiger.
Well,
and then
even though Raja's not white, but I wanted to name him Raja. From Princess Jasmine. You wanted a white tiger?
I did. I wanted a white tiger. I wanted a white Bengal striped tiger. I wanted the blue eyes and all.
Oh,
and then I realized like that cat will eat me, so no.
Actually, the tiger in this series, he is a white Bengal tiger. He is huge. He's like a holy beast. And he has blue eyes. You would love him. Go watch it. Go watch it.
Okay,
You would
I'll
love
give it a shot.
Lars.
I'll give it a shot.
So cute. Big old teddy cat. Anyways, that's enough about mine. What about you?
Okay, so for mine, we're going to go with the one I wasn't as impressed with. It was like, okay, I think it's a great anime for like background. So, the one that I watched was Tales of a Wedding Rings. So if you do not like harem are not your thing, this is not the anime for you. Or harems. Is it harem or harem?
Yeah.
Whatever way. Harem? Yeah, sorry. Harem. This is a harem episode. Or, I'm sorry. This is a harem anime. So if you do not care for it, this isn't the one for you. But basically, the main character has this crush on this girl. And he jumps into another world for her. like a portal opens up and she's like, I have to leave, I'm moving away. And then he just, do I stay here? Do I be a man and risk it all? I'm gonna risk it all for the woman I love. And then, like, jumps
Yeet.
into the portal. And then he yeets himself into a wedding. Like, do you take so and so to be your lawfully wedded? Like, they're still going over the conversations here. And then everyone just like, who's this guy? Like, what is he doing here? Right? I'll actually read the real synopsis in a second, but I'm just giving you my thoughts. So the guy's just like, oh, I stepped on something, but I really love this chick. So hi everyone. It was great. They ended up getting married. Oh, spoiler alert. But we said that a long time ago. They end up getting married. He doesn't know what he's getting into because she's a princess, and then now all of a sudden he's a king now because of the status, and now he has all these responsibilities. So I do like it for the fact of like it takes him from his normal day life, and I love these tropes. You go from normal day living into a new, different world. I love those kind of animes. So like for me, I would rate it 7 out of 10 because I feel like it's a good like background anime. Like I could watch it, but I'm not like fully invested and want to know about every single character. I'm just kind of like, this is good. This is decent. But for those who haven't seen it, let me pull up the synopsis. So just give me one moment while I look at my phone. But have you looked at this at all, Kimmy?
No, I think I saw it and I was like, oh, I'm going to add this to my list for like when my winter animes are done and the next season is about
Mm-hmm.
to ramp up for the spring. I was going to go back and watch these as like, placeholders, like in the background while I'm cleaning or something or just
Yeah,
bored.
it's a light-hearted. The way why it's a harem anime is because he is the ring king and he needs 5 rings to be all and powerful. And guess what? Who bears the 5 rings? These 5 women. So it's like Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Elf Kingdom and this and that. So it's like, oh, I see where this is going. Okay, I see what you
Mm.
guys are doing here. I do like the first wife. She's like really cool of a character so far. I like that she is just kind of like I just like her. She's like decent. So I'm interested to see the different personalities. That's why I rated it 7 because it'd be kind of cool to see who are the other wives. But it's not something where like if I miss it, I'm gonna be upset. But here's a synopsis. Seto is a high school boy in love with his best friend Jaime, a beauty from another realm. She moves back to her home world to get married. Seto crashes the wedding. So basically what I said in the beginning. Right? But I I would recommend it if it's like, it has a little bit of comedy bit. It has some fight scenes. And so it has the action bit. It has the fantasy because it's a whole new world. And like now he's forgotten his own world to be in this world and like the responsibilities that has. So it's interesting, but it's not like amazing yet. So we'll see. I will continue to watch it, but I'm not like, I need to see the next episode when it releases kind of thing.
She really
But
wanted to
yeah.
marry the other guy or she really wanted to marry him.
So the guy that she was marrying was the second son of the kingdom that they're like having issues with. So for her, it was a stranger because when she came into like, let's just say Japan, like the normal world, when she came into the normal world, she was like a child and she grew up. So it went from like middle school to now they're in high school. So she spent a couple years in this normal realm. And then when she goes to her home, world, the grandpa, the guy that played the grandpa or is her grandpa in both worlds, he was like, that's why we hid you in a whole nother world to hide you from this atrocity and like da 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 da. And she even said like, I rather marry someone I love or someone that I know than this stranger. I don't know this guy. I don't like he's nothing to me. But for my home world, I will do what I need to do my duties. But then when he came in, she's like, wait, I have options now. Like, do I risk it or do I just stay with what I know, like with the situation, the traditional situation? And she just risked it. But now she realized he has to get 4 more wives. And she's just kind of like, but I'm your real wife. So, yeah.
That's too
So
cute.
that's cute. But what is your next one? Let's
All
keep
right,
it going
so my
here.
next one is not an isekai, so sorry for my isekai lovers, but there are some more on my list outside of this episode. So this one is Delicious Dungeon. So it is about a knight named Elias. and his friends going back into the dungeon. So originally he was in the dungeon with a young lady named Ferlin, I think that's her name, and another team. They got bested by a red dragon. It ate her, and before it could like literally kill them, she teleported them out of the dungeon, and then she got swallowed up by the dragon. However, this dragon only eats so often, and its metabolism is very slow. So right now it should be asleep. So Elias, I think you say his name. He's back in outside of the
Mhm.
dungeon. The dungeon is literally outside, underneath. It's an old kingdom underneath a village. So it's like a graveyard as well. So it's underground. So what happens is that himself, well, Ferlin is his sister. So his friend, Marcelly, I think that's how you say her name, and
Mhm.
Chalchuk, Chalchuk, which is a thief. Marceline is a maid, are going into the dungeon and they're going to fight their way down into the dungeon to go rescue her out of the belly of the red dragon. While they're in there, of course, they don't have, he left his money. He left all his goods with the red dragon. So when he got teleported out, he didn't have a chance. He teleported them to save them. And when they got teleported, all their stuff was left behind. So he wants to go back down there safer, but also get their stuff. His other teammates left him, like they resigned. They're like, yo, we're done. We're going to go join another party. So his two friends decided to go down with him. Now, let me tell you what happened. During this entire fight in episode one, because right now there's 3 episodes,
Mhm.
the entire fight of episode one, this man is like dazed because they're all flipping hungry. They're all hungry while they're fighting. They're all hungry. This is why they say you're not yourself when you're hungry. Man is in a whole daze while this fire breathing dragon is like trying to kill them. And it's hungry too. Hence why it was trying to kill them so it can eat them. The whole barbecue right now. So man is like, him and the three of them are like walking back to the dungeon, like, man, we hungry. And he's like, well, we don't have no money. When we get into the dungeon, we're gonna eat what's in the dungeon. So I'm gonna call her Marcy, because I don't know how to pronounce her real name, but Marcy the mage, the half elf, I think she is, or she's an elf. She's crying the entire time. She's I don't want to eat no food from a burial site. I don't want to eat no creatures. What look like eating monsters? Excuse me? And he's like, well, we don't have no food. We don't have no money, nor do we have food. What you gonna do? And she's like, no. So the entire time she's complaining, he go and find some food. He gets a mushroom. He gets a what is it? A scorpion, and he starts to cook it. He doesn't cook it right. He almost kills himself. Then comes a chef, and he is a dwarf actually, and his name is I think it's Chisu. He cooks it correctly. He wants a hot pot and they all eat it. And he's like, I will join your quest with you to free your sister because I love eating the creatures in the dungeon. And I will be happy to cook for you since he knew that Lars also liked eating the creatures of the dungeon. Now,
So they got a private chef.
they got a private chef that can fight too. Mm-hmm. He can
Okay, he
season
can
well
fight.
too,
That's
because
good.
he was drinking the soup water. He was like, I need some more seasoning. And they're like, I didn't know you could do that.
We love a
So
seasoned king.
Salt babe. So so man just like going through the entire level of each part of the dungeon, which is the old kingdom.
Mhm.
And they're like going through each episode, you learn how to cook something new. I'm telling you, everything they cooking, we can cook in the real world. We just have to substitute whatever beef they're cooking with our real animals here in the world, or vegetables if you are vegetarian. So I'm just looking like you're like,
Or
oh,
tofu.
you can make that with chicken. Oh, I can make that with pork. Oh, well, I really don't eat pork like that, but just go with me. Oh,
Yeah.
I can make that with lamb. It's exactly the same crumbs. Like regardless of how you chop it, you can still make it the same way
Yeah.
without the monsters, but with our real creatures of the earth. So I'm just looking like, oh, made that with some fish. Mhm. Can. So the entire time you're getting the cooking lesson and the fight scene. Like the fight scenes are really good. I'm telling you, episode 2 had me rolling. I was in tears. It is a comedy. It is a lighthearted adventure. There are, some people do die because somebody did get sliced in half in one of his flashbacks, Lars's flashbacks. But every episode you are laughing. It's enjoyable. It's relatable in the sense of like, personality wise of these anime
Characters.
characters, especially like people who are
Mhm.
picky eater, like some people I know who won't eat certain things. So no shade to whoever, wear the hat if it fits you. But it's really cool to watch these characters, especially their facial expressions. Oh my goodness. And the shade that they throw at each other, impeccable. Chef's kiss. Mwah. No pun intended. I would definitely give this right now a 10 out of 10. And the other anime, Fluffy Paradise, if y'all don't already know, 10 out of 10. No, no, no. 100 and beyond. Okay. Give me a fluffy, cuddly animal any day with some cute prince, not princess. Oh, princess is too pretty. But anyways, it's all about Prince and Fluffy Paradise. But this anime, as of right now, I don't have no man crush in this anime, but there's a character that looks like Mitsurugi from Soul Calibur. It's a samurai looking character, but we haven't gotten to him yet. But I see him in the preview. He might be my new boo in this anime. But as of right now, this right here, Delicious in a Dungeon or Delicious Dungeon, Chef's Kiss. Mwah. I love it. I love it.
All right. That sounds like a good recommendation to check out, especially if you're into food recommendations. You can get inspired
Yeah.
and then see some epic fight scenes as well. So
Yeah,
you
there's some
got
really good
both
fight
bases
scenes.
covered.
What
Get
about
some dinner
you?
and have some entertainment.
Yeah,
All
been
right.
in the
So
show, baby.
dinner
Oh,
and
and
a
that.
show is what we
Oh,
like.
also, well, I'll tell you guys at the end. Let Ali go, and then we'll talk about where you can find these anime series.
So for my last one that we have for today is the Unwanted Undead Adventurer. All right. So I'm gonna read the synopsis here. Rent has hunted monsters for 10 years. He is not great at his job. He's killed by a dragon. Like literally, first second, dragon swallows him. That's I was like, oh, man's down, man's down. He wakes up as an undead and sets out to achieve existential evolution. I can't with that word. I know what the
Exponential
word is.
is
No, no,
exponential,
no.
right? I
The
can't see it, so it's. I was seeing it was kind of looking
EXISTENT.
clear, but it was still for. It's all right. It's okay. Continue.
It's all right. Uh, and rejoins the land of the living. So basically, homeboy gets swallowed by a dragon. I'll tell you guys what I saw. He gets swallowed by a dragon, and he wakes up and he's skeleton. Okay, his name is Rent. He's our main character. He's an adventurer. So, and they also, like solo leveling, have a ranking system. Okay, he is the weakest level adventure. He's very kind, but he's also very smart. Okay, guys, that's the one thing I liked about him. He's very smart and resourceful, and he's very observant. He likes to read, he likes to write, that kind of thing. Um, so I love it because we get this underdog feel because he is weaker, but there is room to grow because his mental game is just up there. He's just as knowledgeable about the magical world and the adventures. He just doesn't have the strength to back up his brain. That makes sense. So love this show. I would give it a solid 8 out of 10. Like I am very invested. I like the side characters so far. Like Lorraine is awesome. That blonde girl, rookie adventurer. I can't remember her name at the moment. She's great. The blacksmith is fun. So I like these side characters in the show are very entertaining and have their own personalities. And he went from being a skeleton to now being a ghoul. And seeing him struggling just to say hello as a ghoul was just a funny little comedic moment. Like he's trying to talk to this rookie adventurer and she's like, and he just saved her life. And he's like, hello, like he's struggling, but in Japanese. I don't know all Japanese guys. So, but yeah, he's struggling to say hello and like introduce himself. And the girl's like, wait, are you talking? And then, she gets used to him, buys him clothes and all this stuff. And it's really cool. The intro music though, not it. I can't vibe to the theme song, but the outro music is very calming. It's like a different vibe. The intro music is like EDM and like they have like a random rapper in there, right? And it's like, okay, cool, I guess. And then the outro is like this like very calming ballad, sing with your heart kind of song. I do like the outro music, but this is so far a very good show. If you're into adventure, if you're into action, if you're into like some small comedic moments, and yeah, then this is the show for you. I guess have a type when it comes to shows because I like people going into adventures or into other worlds. So this kind of fits my mold. So I liked it.
It's actually on my list as well. When you're telling me, when you said it at first, I was thinking about Undead Unluck, but it's a whole different one that started as
Mhm.
well. But I was like, that is on my list. That I have to start as well. So yeah, I'm excited.
I like how resourceful he is too. Like he'll kill these creatures and then take the materials from the creatures and sell it. I'm like, he has a side hustle brain because he sells the stuff to get more money. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Not only like, oh, I'm getting these stuff to like, I'm like, oh, that's smart. Like you killed this creature, you're taking this because you know it's a cosmetic thing, or you're taking that. So he's really resourceful, which is kind of cool to see.
That reminds me of Cooking by the Campfire. I think that's what it was called. It's another isekai, but they didn't die. They just got sent to
Hmm.
that world, if I'm not mistaken. And so he ended up acquiring a skill of, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you guys can correct me in the comments. He ended up getting a his ability is vending machine, like a store. Like he is the store,
Hmm.
and he can buy stuff and sell it. So he can go onto his
Okay.
smartphone and like go into our world, even though he's in a whole nother world, and buy like goods for camping, for cooking, meats, fast food, breakfast,
Okay.
anything you can get at a convenience store or at a store, he can get it. And of course he can level up his shops. So his options of where he
Okay.
can buy stuff from. And so for him is that when he ended up cooking for a team, he ended up attracting like this I can't remember what it was, a dragon, some type of mystical beast. And it has a bad reputation. Like everyone's afraid of it. Like they fear it and they kind of like it at the same time. And so it was like, you feed me, I will kill the monsters, you cook them, and of course, you can use the rest for whatever you want because it doesn't want to eat them raw
Hmm.
anymore. It wants it cooked by him. So he's chefing it up. And then like whatever they don't use, he'll come back with a whole like 20 pounds, 20, 30 creatures, tons of creatures. And he has like the side pocket element where he throws them all and he'll go to like the town and he'll give them to like the guild. And he'll get millions
Hmm.
of coins, thousands of coins, so he can spend it back in the shop. So that's what it reminds me of. And then he'll get weapons made so he can like not die
Hmm.
while he's out there in
Yeah.
the
So it's really
wilderness.
cool. His friend Lorraine is like a academic person. She's
Hmm.
not a adventurer, and she's really smart. And she is like helping him because she's like basically being his go-to person while in town. Because mind you, he's a ghoul, and no one knows that he's changed to being this ghoul. So she's like the point of contact basically now. And it's really cool to see that because she's like studying him as well. She's very obvious because she's an academic, so she's researching him, asking him questions. Do you think you're still you? You died, but are you really Rent? Like, do you have his memories, like all this kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see like that relationship and that friendship and how that moves forward.
Hmm.
Because does she look to him as a friend or is she looking to him more as a research project? Like, does she do a little bit of both or does she lean towards one or the other? So that'll be interesting to see.
That
Um,
makes
but
sense.
yeah,
I can't wait
so
to start watching
what
it.
is your, yeah, it's a good one. What is your last one?
I already told you my two.
Yeah. Did we really? Was
Yeah.
that was the last?
Yeah.
Dang. Sorry, guys. I was
Yeah.
like, let's keep going. All right. Um, well, that is it. I mean, we talked about some of the animes that we watched, and we're gonna continue to watch some and not others, maybe, you know. But that's our thoughts right now.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Please make sure that you comment on this video. Make sure you listen to it also on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else that you listen to your podcasts. Our social media handles, we have TikTok, we have Twitter, which is now known as X. We have Facebook and IG and YouTube, which if you're watching this video, it's on YouTube. So please share, comment, and subscribe. We would love to hear your 2 cents. And again, to find us on the other social media handles, it is here, HEAR underscore our, the number 2, and sense with an S. Again, HEAR underscore our, the number 2, and sense. So yeah,
Okay.
drop us a little
Don't forget to
follow.
share your 2 cents with us. Don't
Yeah.
forget to share your 2 cents. You can comment or you can chat with us in the DMs, whatever floats your boat. But you can find us on TikTok, like you said, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. But we hope you enjoyed, and let us know, what are your thoughts on some of these shows? Did you like them? Have you watched them? Do you think you're going to continue watching them? What other shows that happened this winter do you recommend?
Mm-hmm.
Give us some. We'd love to get new shows. So give us some. Um, sorry, I didn't know all the characters' name and all the fact checks, but I'm the person that like will read a book and then 72 hours later completely forget what happened, but just know that I enjoyed that book. Okay. So that's kind of similar to the anime style for me. Like I'll watch some shows and then like the names will just go, but my emotions, I'll be like, oh, I like this scene or I like that. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. We really enjoyed watching it and like just being able to talk about some of the shows that we saw. So please do not forget to subscribe to the podcast. Like she said, it's here, HEAR_hour2, and then sense, CENTS. Okay. So follow us anywhere that you follow and listen to your podcast, and subscribe to us so you can keep up with us. Okay.
Right.
So see you guys later.
Bye,
Bye.
guys. Say bye, Kirsty. Say bye, Christine.